And we're back at it. Game 4, the winner's bracket. You're on SoCalCollegeSports.com. A marathon elimination game between the defending state champs. Delta goes down in 16 at the hands of the Sacramento City Panthers. Mike Cepeda, Tony Barbone. Bones, just starting off with you on today's coverage. Spread the word, everybody. www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. Also broadcasting live on YouTube. SoCal College Sports 1. Friends and family tune in. A record 7,000 plus views live in Game 1. That number will continue to climb at the end on the archive copy. And thank you so much for joining us today.
I think we got 1 view per minute on that first game.
I think you're right.
It was about 7,000 minutes.
Something like that.
You know, I was a 9th grader when the game started, and I just finished my MBA. I'm in the 16th inning there.
Get to the starters here today on the screens. Jerry White comes by the booth. For OCC, they'll be the away team. It'll be Skylar Lamanchi in center, Tommy Williams at second base, Davis Delarifiche in right, the designated hitter, Tyler Lash, Murphy Staley at first, Jacob Gentry in left, David Morgan at third, Todd Jackson behind the plate, and at short, Tristan Hanoian, the pitcher, Michael Rylick. For El Camino in right, it'll be Jerry Granillo, the right fielder, Spencer Palmer at first, Joseph Borges in center, Spencer Long at second, Ty Conrad left field, the pitcher, Aaron Orozco, Matt Becerra at third, Brandon Casillas at center, and Taishi Nakawaki at short. Lamanchi will lead things off for the Pirates, a winner 6-1 yesterday. Coach, you still with me?
I am now.
There you are.
Thank you.
Orozco starting off Lamanchi with a strike. And then after that, a ball, 1-1. Top of the first inning.
And we're underway. The Battle of the South.
Finally, game
if it mirrors the Battle of the North,
you're going to be here a while.
Yeah, you're going to be a grandpa.
How many grandkids you got now, Brooks?
I proudly say we have 4. 2 boys, 2 girls. Cora, Cal, Camden, and Mia. Love them to death, one of the best things in my life. So, Cam, if you're out there, I know you're hooking up baseball, Cal, T-ball Orioles, and T-ball Warriors.
It'll be Lamanchi, Williams, and Delarifiche. Due up this inning for the Pirates. Get to their super fan Keith in the kilt here today on day 2. Pleasant Memorial Day to everyone watching around the globe.
Is it official? Keith is in the house?
I saw him earlier.
This will be the battle of the super fans, as El Camino has theirs as well.
The volume's a little down right now.
I'll try and get Keith on a little video later.
Lamanchi lifts that one to left. Ty Conrad closes in and records out number 1 here at the top of the first.
Again, as we talked about in the first ball game, that leadoff man retired is so significant in every pitcher. And innings are created and that doesn't happen. But as we also saw in the first game, as Jeff can testify to, a lot happened with 2 outs.
Did. On 2-out rallies. Errors playing a huge factor in the outcome of today's game between San Joaquin Delta and Sac City Panthers. It's win or go home, and Delta now back on the road to Stockton. Tommy Williams singles into center field for a 1-out base hit. Tommy with a couple of hits yesterday, a star absolute gem in the field for the Pirates. Headed to UW next season.
And Tommy continues to impress all of us, those of us around the game and those of us in the area. Just Tommy Williams just plays hard. He's a consummate 2-hitter, playing a tough second base as they get to the significant part of the lineup here with our right fielder,
Davis Delarifiche. I know it's a tough one, Coach. Bear with me. With 1 on, 1 out, at the top of the first. De La Ricochet, 369 hitter on the season. With a home run, 31 RBI, 13 walks, 32 strikeouts. Does lead the team in that category. Likes to get his hacks up there. He won't be shortchanged. 9 stolen bases on the year, so he's got a little full speed. Tommy Williams with 7 stolen bags. Something to keep an eye on there. OCC coming into the tournament, leading all 4 teams in batting average on the season at 324. Big throw over from Orozco.
They're not #1 in Southern California because they aren't a wow team. They know what they're doing, and they make some things happen in all parts of the game.
Orozco comes in 11-1 on the year, 104 2/3 coming in, 110 Ks, only 38 walks. Coach, he averages, there goes the runner, he averages more than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings, with an ERA of 2.06.
Well, he's got an effective 3 pitches. He's got command. They got a little energy here in the first inning, but he's a seasoned veteran. He knows what he's doing. And a dependable right-hander for Nate Fernley.
The 2-1, off speed inside. Well, Coach, you talked about it on day one. Nate Fernley, a former pitcher himself at BYU.
Yes, sir.
And
a good one.
They are no stranger to success on the mound in that program, being able to develop their pitchers, matriculate them to the 4-year programs.
He definitely does that.
3-1 in there, called strike 2.
And the biggest part of that matriculation is how Nate is just steady on the hand of those young men classes and graduation and just doing the right things. They just do a lot of the right things, and a lot of the right things get to the right places, as we are here today with El Camino.
Full count on De La Ricochet. Outside, ball 4. So first and second, 1 gone, top of the first. Orozco gonna have to pitch himself out of a jam here.
Tyler Latch, one of the staples in the middle of that lineup, but again, as always, you're a ground ball away, and he has the ability to induce people to do that. So
leads the team in home runs on the year with 4 of them, 36 RBI, a batting average of 358 coming in. Last swinging at the first pitch, fouls that one back.
Pretty good lash at that pitch right there.
Not bad. David Sanborn also table side with us, official photographer for the 3C2A, helps us out in many capacities. Does his part to make sure we look good.
That's his biggest job.
The 0-1 in there, strike 2.
Not a bigger job than that.
Coach, what do you see here early on from Orozco in terms of his arsenal?
I think we've talked about it just about every game, just getting settled into the ball game. You know, it's a unique experience. They haven't been in this environment. They've been in big games, but not in this big of a game. And they just need to settle in and
pitch outside.
And believe in your stuff. Try and keep your heart rate down. And deep breath and just 1 pitch at a time. We're back to WIN of what's important next.
Volume level for the OCC side starts to creep up. Orozco delivers the 1-2 outside. That'll even it up.
Looked like a changeup that just got out of his hand. You don't want to be in too many fastball counts with Mr. Lash, the way he can rip a little bit. But well,
congrats to Sac City moving on. They will play the loser of this game later today in Game 3 on the day. Hopefully sooner rather than later. That one popped up. Should be playable for Palmer. And it is. So 2 gone now, first and second. Here comes Murph Staley. Staley leading the team in doubles on the season, 17 of them. 39 RBIs, leads the team in that category, 380. Him and Jacob Gentry about neck and neck in terms of batting average coming in. An opportunity early for the Pirates to strike first blood. That one nearly hit.
See, and that's just a little bit of nerves, just not finishing the pitch. Go straight up and down, and he'll get back on his game. He's a good right-handed pitcher, and he'll find that pitch soon.
Thank you for sticking with us, everybody. Obviously, the start time of this game pushed back a couple hours because of the extra inning affair. 16 innings. Sac City with a win in that one. And the San Joaquin Delta, defending state champs. 2-0 on Murph Staley. Staley swinging at that one. And Orozco pulls the string.
And that's the ability to pitch backwards and cheat counts like that. That's why your repertoire is so important. The team that comes in 325 as a team is you got to stay after it for sure.
2-1. Staley to center field. Playable for Borges.
And they get out of it.
One hit, two left, no runs. Nothing. Bottom of the first coming up. You're watching the 2019 CCCAA Baseball Championship from Fresno. Bottom of the first, it'll be Jerry Granillo, Spencer Palmer, and Joseph Borges on the mound for OCC. Michael Rylick. Rylick on the season comes in with an ERA of 2.76, 44 strikeouts, 21 walks, elected a 4-1 in 58 2/3 innings pitched. Starts Granillo off with a strike, but that one in the dirt, 1-1.
Again, we'll see Mr. Rylick, a freshman, coming into this large venue under the energy of super fan over there. He's dressed accordingly. He's not sure if he's orange or he's Irish. He's not sure if he's a Pirate.
We know he's a super fan, though.
So he's got some energy. It's all positive. His name's Keith. If you look at the program, he's laying down in front of his team. Team picture.
Love that. 1-1, popped up. Hanoian calling everybody off to take charge. Out number one in the bottom of the first.
That'll settle you. You get that leadoff man. That guy's got the leadoff man for the inning, which makes it a little bit more palatable.
Balmer now the batter, batting .327 on the season. 3 home runs, 38 RBI. Rylick starts him off with the ball. What pitcher is going to get settled down first? big question. The question of the weekend. Which team is going to play catch better than the other?
Correct.
2-0 now on Palmer. Pitch. Riley trying to nibble. Not going to get the call, 3-0.
A bit of respect there. 2-0 off-speed pitch. He's seen it twice in the second inning.
Down the middle for strike one. Perhaps a team of destiny here in 2019. And playing for something more than just a win here, Coach. Strike two on Palmer.
Saturday, the again, you don't pull for anybody, but you.
Swing and a miss. That one in the dirt. Throw over the first. From Jackson to Staley for out number 2.
Pull for what's right and roll. Again, it's repetitive, but it bears repeating. Camino, Nate Fernley, athletic director, Colin Preston, Dean Williams, it's done a great job of handling the situation and processing these young men to a difficult spot. We praise him for that, and we wish him continued success.
A player that we are mentioning is Slade Mole. That one lifted to center field. Long run for Lamanchi. Does he have it? Or did that hit? What a pretty good look at it here. See if we have a replay of it for you. Let me say that one did hit down. Apologies for the lack of replay on it, but everybody did seem to feel that was in play. So a 2-out single for Borges. Here comes Spencer Long.
Spencer Long, a little bit of the hero.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Records 7 ounces last time out.
Jack of all and master of most.
He records 7 outs, 4 of them via strikeout. Long takes inside ball 1. Swing and a miss. Big hack from Long, 1-1.
Mike's got a little deception in delivery, a little bit herky. It's a little bit of explosion as he starts coming down the hill and a little bit disruptive to your eyes, but stay in the zone, lock in, track that baseball.
Rylick delivers. This one hit into left field. Gentry keeps it in front of him, doesn't want to dive and have that one go to the wall. And we'll have first and second shades of the top half of this inning with 2 outs.
Here we are, 2 outs recorded, and bang, bang. This has been the kind of the map of the day.
2-out rallies.
2-out noise for sure, 2-out traffic for sure.
It's the left fielder Ty Conrad at the dish. Batting .242 coming in, 24 RBIs. Couple of home runs, little pop in the bat. Has struck out 46 times this season. That's second on the team. Over to Matt Becerra. Becerra was the Mustang killer on day 1. Rylick lefty. Hit 0-1. One chopped over to Hanoian. Hanoian misplays it. Some traffic with the lead runner in front of him, and that will be charged in air. So 2 outs, 2 up and 2 down, but then a couple of singles and now an error. Bases are loaded. 2 outs. Here comes the pitcher, Aaron Orozco. Orozco coming in batting over .300 on the year.
Pretty rare for the steady Hanoian to kick that ball, but little distraction as the runner bisected in front of him legally. Didn't affect the play, just missed the ball.
Borges at third, Long at second. Conrad at first via the air.
Pitcher DH situation today.
It is. Aaron Orozco trying to channel his inner Steve Nebraska. He's ahead in the count, 0-1. Orozco. Ball inside, ball one. And the biggest bat of the weekend thus far for the Warriors on deck, and Matt Becerra. Here comes the 1-1. That one in the left field for a base hit. They're going to wave home second base. A 2-run RBI in the bottom of the first for the pitcher, Aaron Orozco. Nice approach here, Coach. Orozco tracks it, sends it in the left field. Good speed on the bags for El Camino.
Fastball that just didn't quite get in enough. A little bit too much of the plate, and Orozco puts a great stroke on it.
First and second, 2 outs. And how big have errors been this weekend? The last 2 weekends. Softball a week ago, errors a determining factor. Winner in that tournament. Congratulations to Mount Sac going back-to-back 2018 and 19 for softball. And now errors plaguing losing teams. CCC top seed from south behind right now to El Camino. Bottom of the first, 2-0. Matt Becerra went yard on Saturday off at the plate.
Back to the South Coast Conference, represented by Mount Sac in the softball championship. And El Camino working to make it a spring sweep but really winning.
Becerra now with 3 home runs on the year. This has Cade 48 times this season. 157 at bats, so he's going up there. 1 out of every 3 is about a strikeout for Matt Becerra. Behind 1-2. Well, they called strike 3. We'll ring him up. The damage done, courtesy of an error from Hanoian. 2-0. El Camino on top of Orange Coast. You are watching the 2019 Baseball Championship at John Eulis Ballpark in Fresno. Gentry going to lead things off for the Pirates in this one. Morgan and Jackson to follow for the Pirates, who trail it 2-0. Gentry swinging away. This one might drop. Nope. Borges playing it perfectly for out number 1.
Good jump by Borges on that first pitch. A little bit in on Mr. Gentry. Got jammed just a little bit, but we got that LOM again. Leadoff man retired.
David Morgan now up, batting .306 on the year. Take ball 1. Bottom of the second inning. An error from Tristan Hanoian at short. Loaded him up. And a 2-out rally. Aaron Orozco, 2 RBI single. El Camino on the board first. 3 hits in that bottom 1. Pitch fouled back, strike 1.
And then Orozco, they hang a 2 spot, get a crooked number, comes back, gets the leadoff man on 1 pitch. That's kind of tempo, but as we did in the first game and we experienced, was just tempo was back and forth and up and down and up and down.
The tempo lasted a while in that first game.
Yeah, it was tempo.
Held the O for a while. Sac City prevailing in 16. Morgan over to second base, reaches out, long reaches over, goes over to first to Palmer, 2 down. Five pitches in this inning, 2 outs. Took him 25 pitches in the first. Here comes Todd Jackson. In Todd we trust.
In Todd we trust.
First pitch on Jackson, strike 1. One in the dirt. Well, Coach, after the win today, after 16 innings, if you're Sac City, what's the approach right now?
Well, the approach right now is get back to the hotel, listen to the broadcast on SoCal College Sports, led by Mike Cepeda and our buddy Jeff, a.k.a. Fresno Fats. Relax. I say
1-2, swing and a miss.
Take off your uniform, take off your shoes, throw it up on the chair.
It's a quick 1-2-3, top of the second. We head to the home half. 2-0. El Camino looking for more. Bottom of the second. 2-0. El Camino, the Warriors on top of the Pirates. It'll be Casillas, Makawaki. On top of the order, Jerry Granillo. Due up in this one. Rylick giving up 2 in the bottom half of the first, 2 of them unearned.
We'll see how he settles in this inning. You might see a little bit better settled freshman here.
Check swing, strike. 0-2. Casillas. Casillas coming in, batting 109. That one into right field, 4-base hit. Don't mind the number.
There's nobody there. That 109 just got nudged a skosh.
A skosh. Is right, Coach. Not a bad pitch there.
No.
Low and away from Rylick. I think he's executing what he wants.
Sat over the plate a little bit, and he rolled it into right field.
4th hit of the game for El Camino. Of Taishi Nakawaki.
Taishi headed to UC Irvine next fall. Going to be an anteater.
Hard mark. Batting .303 this season. And just misses for Rylick. 2-0. Gives that pitch an extra long look.
Well, Rylick's the kind of guy that's going to be around the plate and not in the middle of the plate. And so there will be some pitches like that that look like they're just going to miss. But, or there'll be ones like that looks like they just picked up an edge.
2-0 foul back. Starting to cool down here in Fresno.
I think the fatigue of the 16-inning game is still here a little bit with some of the fans that were waiting to watch the ball game.
That one popped up. Williams with a beat on it. Going to be called off by De La Rifiche. 1 gone. So Jerry Granillo popped up to short his last time up. 1. I believe I gave his numbers. Granillo batting .227 coming in. Lefty-lefty matchup here. That one popped up. Hanoian called off by Gentry.
Good communication there. Pop-up priority goes to that outfield coming forward versus that infield going back. Good detail by the Pirates, but to be expected on a John Altobelli coach team.
Yeah. 2 gone now. Here comes Spencer Palmer, who struck out his last time up.
A 3-2 pitch, kind of in the dirt, so a little bit better approach this time.
Started off with strike 1. Rylick. Talked about Rylick, the lanky freshman. Not an overpowering guy, but got some pretty good movement.
Yeah, he's a spot guy. Again, not giving you the best part of the ball to hit. You got to be detailed in your approach. Every now and then you might get one in the middle, but not many.
The 1-1. Over to third. Morgan with it. Over to first in time. And a pretty efficient bottom of the 2nd inning for Michael Rylick. We head to the 3rd. 2-0 Warriors over the Pirates. Top of the 3rd inning. Looks like Skylar Lamanchi. Excuse me. Tristan Hanoian. Chance at redemption. Lamanchi on deck, excuse me. It was his error in the bottom of the 1st that led to 2 runs. 2 out, 2 RBI single from Aaron Orozco off of Rylick. The 0-1 in there off speed, 0-2 quickly. Coach, I see you have some friends from El Camino coming over. Fellow South Coast conferencers. The 0-2 outside.
Well, I, as you know, spent 5 years as the athletic director there, made some good friends, a good relationship. That was our basketball coach at El Camino, Robert Ephoff, and his family, and wife Teresa and the twins. It's just great to see them. Haven't seen the twins since they were about 3.
The 1-2, ring them up. Hanoian down on strikes.
So life's about relationships, Mikey. You know, if you make good relationships, there's a good chance that they'll take care of you down the road. So it's always good to see them.
Seeing you in your element, natural in the booth. 1 gone, top of the 3rd. Lamanchi started off with strike 1 from Orozco. Pretty evident here, Orozco is settled in.
He has.
I'm sure that the 2 RBI single that he put in the bottom of the 1st, helping that cause.
That kind of sells his coach that he's a pitcher and a hitter, right? And it was a tremendous at-bat. The ball was out of the plate and he whacked it.
1-1, outside.
That's one pitch he hasn't commanded yet. Whatever that is, a split or a changeup, he just hasn't been able to handle that pitch quite yet. But
well, it's good to try to figure it out with nobody on base.
He's got some time. It's a pitch you need against that left-hander, though. Down and away off the plate.
2-1, outside, ball 3 on Lamanchi. Tommy Williams awaits.
The dangerous Tommy Williams.
Tommy terrific. 3-1 in the center field, 4-base hit from Lamanchi. So Lamanchi now 1 for 2. Tommy Williams with a single his last time up.
Good example. If you don't control counts against good hitting teams, you have to give that pitch and take your chances 1 on 9. But Orange Coast got some barrel. They got some good travel in the zone. And now we're to Tommy Williams, with gives the Pirates a chance to have some action and get back in this ballgame.
Williams with a little pop in his bat. A couple home runs. Flag at rest in center field. There goes Lamanchi. Lamanchi caught stealing yesterday. Not here. He will take second base.
There's the action we were talking about. The Pirates aren't just station to station. They're not Thunder.
That's a great jump for Schuyler. Really no chance for Brandon Casillas behind the dish. 1 out. Second now. Roscoe checks a runner. Williams takes inside, ball 2.
Got to finish that breaking ball a little bit. Still just doesn't quite finish it. Not getting the bite he'd like to have, but I'm sure he'll find it soon.
Now what is that, Coach? Why is the reason it won't bite? Just feel?
Well, you don't get kind of extended on it. You can't get the kind of fingers on it you'd like at the finish of the pitch, and so it's not as tight as I'd like it to be. And it gets a little sloppy.
Timeout called by the ump, Coach, or did Williams step out?
I'm sure that you can't step out. You have to ask for time and be granted time. So obviously that sequence took place. If you step out, the pitch continues.
Roscoe looks back. 2-0. High, ball 3.
Just doesn't quite have that pitch. And the way that Nate Fernley calls pitches, he likes to pitch backwards a little bit. You need that breaking ball in that fastball situation. So you don't want to give these guys a chance to tee off like the leadoff hitter just did on the 3-1 Phoebe.
3-0. And there's strike 1. Where we see Aaron Orozco. Behind 3-1. Tommy Williams. Orozco delivers. That one outside, ball 4. First and second, 1 out. Another opportunity for the Pirates to get on the board. Back to the top of the 1st, they had 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. Unable to cash in. Here comes Davis Delarifiche. 69 hitter coming in. Walked his last time up. As I'm reading the scorebook, it's close at second. In the top of the first inning, it was 2 on with only 1 out.
That's correct. Been some traffic.
Indeed.
Bullets, they need to be dodged from time to time.
Lamonti at second, Williams at first. Ricochet takes strike 1.
There's the breaking ball he needs. You see that has this a little tighter, a little more bite, a little better opportunity.
Lash on deck. Roscoe. That one into center field. Will it drop? It will. Lamonti coming around to score. Pirates are going to get on the board and cut it to the slimmest of margins for the Warriors. 2-1.
Opportunistic at bat. Pretty good pitch by Roscoe. Not much barrel, but it dropped right in front of the center fielder.
It was enough. Good job on replay, fellas. Emery Johnson, Matthew Henson in the booth. John Gotti.
It's a good read by Lamonti, too. He was off on contact. He looked like he knew that ball was going to fall in.
Yeah. It's a good read. Here's Lash.
He's ever present.
Lash popping out to first, his first time up. That'll be a single for Delarifiche. See Tommy Williams at second. The 1-0 in there, strike 1.
That's the pitch he needs to control this Pirate lineup.
Only 8 strikeouts on the season for Tyler Lash, 29 walks. He's a tough out. 148 at bats. How do you like that number as a coach?
You like that.
1-2 now, though, from Orozco as he delivers on the outer half. Aaron battling here in the jam. This is one of the best hitting teams in the 3C2A. 2019 Baseball Championship. Fresno City College, John Euless Ballpark, Mike Cepeda, Tony Bones.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Stoynow.
Little disagreement on that pitch by the OC dugout.
Lash protecting with 2 strikes. Fouls that one off. Again, congratulations to Sac City, advancing out of the elimination bracket with a win over San Joaquin Delta in 16 innings.
Great game of endurance and technique.
1-2. Fouled off.
You saw it all in that game.
Really
Great
did.
defense, timely hitting,
Blunder,
good pitching,
some blunders.
couple errors, some great defensive plays.
Battle of adversity by both teams.
Opportunities for both. It was just
Redemption from Kevin Sines, who struggled on day 1 in the loss versus OCC.
it had it all. It had it all. It even had an ending after.
We weren't even sure if that was going to happen.
No. We were not.
Lash behind 1-2. Swing and a miss. There's something you don't see very often from Tyler Lash as he goes down via the K from Aaron Orozco. Here comes Murph Staley. Staley with some power in his bat. 19 extra base hits on the season. A couple of home runs, 17 doubles. He doesn't strike out very often, only 13 on the season. Roscoe now 1 out away from getting out of the third. Still runners at first and second. Roscoe trying to nibble.
Tough hombre here.
They call him Murph. One and 0 on Staley. Staley takes ball 2. Well, probably some people watching back at the hotel.
Oh, I would think absolutely.
If we can get them to play it at the Spring Hill Marriott on Herndon.
It's a plug. Did they pay you to say that?
I don't know. I know El Camino's staying there.
You can plug them if they bring us some snacks.
They've been very gracious thus far.
All right. You're enjoying your stay.
I am.
They put a little spring in your step.
We did. They allowed me to get a little milk for my cereal.
Climb the hill of broadcasting.
It can be a treacherous climb. A lot of landmines out there. 2-1 on Murphy Staley. Staley into left field. This will tie the ball game. Williams comes around to score. De La Ricochet to third. First and third. An RBI single for Murph Staley.
A little bit of a hanging break ball that stayed up. Didn't quite have the bite that we were after. So, in fact, the hitter's quality as Staley gets a little whack on that thing. And, hey, just so you know, we're tied again. We started at 10 o'clock tied. It was 1 o'clock and we were tied. It was 2 o'clock and we were tied. It was 3 o'clock and we were tied. At 3:10 we were untied. But it's 5 o'clock right now and we're tied.
Common theme today. This one lifted by Gentry into center field. Playable for Borges. And that'll do it. But Crook and Number up in the top of the third ties it up at 2 apiece. We head to the bottom half of the third inning. 2-2. OCC and El Camino.
I got kicked out. I was there in the first game, but I'm out now.
Bottom of the third. El Camino surrendering the lead. It's tied up at 2-all.
Borges.
And Borges
First ball swinging.
makes it an easy first out for the Pirates.
And then we talk about crooked number for OCC. Come back 1 pitch, 1 out. That's exactly what you want to see happen. See a little bit different. Might see a different inning now.
Borges, Long, and Conrad do up this inning. Borges now 1 for 2. Long 1 for 1.
Roscoe did the same thing. They scored 2 in the first. They hung a 0.
That pitch in the
Rada
dirt.
can do the same thing here, and all of a sudden we're going to have a game. And it's what it should be. State championship, 4 quality teams. You're going to get good games all the way across the board.
Down to 3 up here in Fresno now. San Joaquin Delta going home after the loss earlier today from Sac City. Returns the favor in 2019. 2018 runner-up. Panthers. 2-0, and their strike one on long.
Well, we got two super fans here today, Keith from Orange Coast and Danny from El Camino.
I got bored.
Battle of Warriors and Pirates, battle of super fans. Swing and a miss, 2-2 on long.
Got to give Keith best dressed.
He's rocking the kilt.
He's looking pretty good.
He has the coral covered
He's got
tights.
He's got the Johnny Depp look going today.
That is high praise, Coach. 2-2, swing and a miss. Weilich pulls the string. 2 gone. You're at the bottom of the third. Keith fired up.
I forgot. Hydration specialist. That's a good one.
If you have some friends and some family want to tune into this one, they can watch it live. Smartphone, tablet, PC. You got an Apple TV, you got a Roku TV, you got something with a YouTube app. SoCal College Sports 1. Catch us on the go. Bunt trying to be laid down here by Ty Conrad.
Not a bad idea. Try and push it by that left-handed pitcher. Get yourself a base. Get yourself an inning with 2 outs.
Loaded the bases after he reached on an error from Hanoian in that first inning.
One of the assistant coaches for our baseball team talking to our athletic trainer and
Eventually stranded.
calling her a water girl. I don't think I've ever seen someone get so angry in my entire life.
Weilich delivers. That one hit well into left field for a base hit. So 2-out base hit. It's been a common theme today. 2-out rallies, tie ball games.
Been some activity. Requires 3 outs in every inning for it to stop. So
that's what I'm told. Did I hear right off air? We were talking with Jeffrey Stoynoff about possible trivia.
Trivia? I thought that was just rolled.
I
was just the dumb guy that was stumped.
Change your name to Stumped instead of Bones?
Yeah. Be Stumpy. I usually let Jeff come with a question. Well, because you know why? If we ask a question, he knows every answer.
It's true.
And that's not even fun, right? He's James from Jeopardy.
If it came to Wings trivia, you'd be right.
Wings like
Wings, the TV show?
Paul McCartney and Wings?
No.
Little band on the run?
You'd probably be pretty good there too. We'll fire up the trivia at some point. Maybe game 5. Maybe later today in game 4. There goes the runner.
Great jump.
There goes the ball into center field. Nice coverage by Lamanchi. Holding the runner to second, but it's a stolen base for Ty Conrad.
Good read, good jump. Going on first movement. Tough to throw somebody out when they get a good jump off first movement, so they're working.
See it here.
And runner in scoring position again for the RBI leader of the day, Mr. Orozco.
Mr. Orozco with 2 in the bottom of the second. Opportunistic after the error. And a chance here for El Camino to retake the lead. Conrad at second base in scoring position. 5 hits on the day for El Camino. Orozco with one of them. Started off with strike 2.
Good take, ball a little up, not what he's after.
It's strike 1. Is it 1-1 or 1-2?
1-2 on the screen, 1-1 on the board. Might be 7-second delay, I'm not sure.
Could be. I think they're going to last at bat. That's right, I think we have it corrected. The 1-1. In the dirt, pass ball. Jackson lets it get back to the screen. And now the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Ty Conrad.
I might call that a WP. I don't know if that's a pass ball. That ball was spiked at about 58 feet.
Was it?
Take a replay, you'll see that it's out in front of the plate. Pretty big hop over the right shoulder of Todd. And Todd we trust.
Good an official ruling in between innings here. 2-1. That's in there. And Roscoe. Deuces wild. Rylick at the ready. Orozco fouls it off. With Stay Fair, Staley tracking. Out of play. Do 2 and 2 again.
2-2 tie. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 undefeated teams.
That one back up the middle. 3 RBIs on the day for Aaron Orozco. And El Camino back with the lead at 3-2 in the bottom of the third. Deuces wild, no more. Conrad
Orozco, he's having a day, and it's only the 3rd inning.
Coach, just like that, momentum shifts in favor of the Warriors. Rylick off speed to Becerra. A bat to be wary of for sure. The lineup for El Camino. Struck out his last time up. We'll go up there and get his hat. Strike 2 on the inner half. Didn't like it. Looked pretty good though.
That's a good pitch. He was fooled. It's tough to stand out there and feel like you're getting embarrassed, but it's a game of inches and seams, and you got to compete on all of it.
4-seamer. Well, high heat.
That was a little 2-seamer up and out. Again, that elevated fastball, your eyes see that early. Sometimes you'll chase that pitch.
Changing eye level here.
You know, the ball's down. You got longer to get information from it. Take a little more patience. Let it get deep. Like that.
Speed, and that one lifted to right. On the run is Davis De La Ricochet, who puts it away for out number 3.
Good at bat.
But the lead back in favor of El Camino. Aaron Orozco strikes again. He's 2 for 2. And he's accounted for all 3 RBI here today for the Warriors. Back with the 4th in a bit.
Bottom of the order due up here in the top of the 4th inning. El Camino with a 3-2 lead over Orange Coast. The winner moves directly to tomorrow and is 1 win away from a 3C2A championship here in 2019. 1 ball and no strikes, big swing and a miss on the fastball from Orozco by Morgan. Grounded to second his first time up.
As we sit here, Orozco 3, Orange Coast 2.
Morgan came in, batting .306 with 2 home runs, 34 runs batted in. Breaking ball misses, 2 balls and a strike. Going after the high fastball again. Count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He likes the high ones.
If they hang that run again, trying to come back and put a 0 on the board for your team is what he was able to do last time.
2 and 2 on the ground to short. A diving stop by Nakawaki to his feet. He's got Morgan at first.
What a play.
There's a reason that young man's going to go play at UCI. You just saw one of them. Not only is he a great student, but he's a great shortstop.
I was going to say, he's a great student, but he is playing unbelievable shortstop and delivering with the bat as well. Taishi Nakawaki. And one down, and that brings Jackson to the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Now, you know, Bones, if you're going to go to UCI, you better bring the grades and the ball game.
Amen.
Back to the screen, a ball and a strike.
Benny Orloff, former UCI player, running that ship over there now, doing a great job. Playing in that very difficult Big West.
Jackson struck out his first time up.
No nonsense conference there, Coach.
Oh, it is not.
Off-speed pitch
Play
high.
every day, or you won't be playing the next day.
2 balls and a strike on Jackson.
Great programs, great coaches, fun to watch.
Jackson came in batting .294. A home run, 14 runs batted in. Again, Orozco tries the breaking ball. 3 balls and a strike.
But it's just decelerated. You maintain his arm speed, that ball doesn't carry the footage it needs to. So you stay with that pitch a little bit better. Finish it.
Orozco kicks and delivers. Foul back to the screen. Jackson had a cut.
Pretty good mano-y-mano right there. Here you go, Todd. See what you got.
Something typical of the Warriors this season, just when you think Orange Coast may be starting to get things their way after a big 3rd inning, they come right back with 2 out and deliver lined to Long at 2nd for out number 2. Jackson retired, 2 down, bases empty. And here comes Tristan Hanoian. He struck out his first time up. Hanoian batting .240, 2 home runs, 10 runs batted in on the season. And Bones, it was a tremendously uncharacteristic miscue by Hanoian in the field. He has been a wizard with the glove at shortstop.
Very much so.
At least our eyes this weekend, but really all season long.
Had a little bit of obscured vision on that play as the runner went past him. Just get a good spot on that last hop. Turned into an inning.
Yeah, El Camino made the most of it with the 2-run single by Orozco following. Fastball high, and did that catch Casillas awkwardly, and you go back to Saturday when Casillas, I think, took a ball in an awkward spot and ended up having to leave the game. Looks like he's okay. A ball and a strike now on Hanoian.
He's laughing about it.
Well, of course he is. Those catchers are made of iron. He's laughing it off.
What are you made of? Iron, sir.
He laughs at pain. A ball and a strike on Hanoian. Change of beauty in there for a strike. A ball and 2 strikes. Hanoian trying to get it to the top of the order. Lamanche would be next. Orozco into the wind. Tried the outside corner and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hanoian 0 for 2 with a couple of walks yesterday. 2-2 pitch, fastball high.
The Clouds have definitely come back. They haven't been angry yet, but they're here.
Payoff pitch to Hanoian. And Tristan Hanoian has his 3rd walk of the tournament. 2-out base runner for Orange Coast. And that'll bring up Lamanche. Winner of this one right on to tomorrow's final. Meanwhile, the loser back in action, Sac City, resting up and awaiting the loser of this one in our 3rd game of the day in our tripleheader. That comes up roughly 45 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Well, we really did have pretty much a 2nd game in there. And the extra inning contest, first game today went 16 innings. If you're just joining us, no balls and a strike. Lamanche's 1 for 2, a single his last time up. Came around to score on the De La Refeche single.
Again, base runner with 2 outs. It's been complicated for a couple of these programs, so see if we can get a good at-bat out of Mr. Orozco.
Trying to wrong foot Hanoian, but he gets back. No balls and a strike on Lamanche. came into action here, batting .310. No home runs, 17 runs batted in. That number's gone up. The 0-1 from Orozco. Low and away.
Interesting part of the 16-inning game when we get to the third game of the day, whenever it may start, whenever it may finish, we're scheduled for an 11 o'clock game on Tuesday. I think the committee has the ability to push that game back if it's necessary, but I'm not so sure that would be the case. But somebody that's going to win late tonight is going to play early tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they suggested that maybe we could just pull up a cot and stay here.
There are three couches in the Fresno City coach's office over there.
That is one hell of an office there for
pretty cool.
1 ball, 1 strike on Lamanche. Breaking ball away, 2 balls and a strike.
The average bachelor could exist there very well.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
A lot of square footage.
Doesn't have cable though. It only has basic channels, so
Didn't see a dry ball in there.
can't get YouTube.
Here's the 2-1. Off the end of the bat to third. Nifty play by Becerra. Across to retire Lamanche. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the 4th. El Camino on top of Orange Coast 3-2. It's the 3C2A Baseball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Warriors coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th with a 3-2 lead against Michael Rylick, the left-hander. Back up on the rubber and ready to go. Fastball high and away for ball 1 to Brandon Casillas, who singled his first time up, and started to mention the batting average of Casillas that came in at just 109, but a good piece of hitting his first time up. Taking it the other way for a base hit to right.
And Orozco being able to hang that 0 after the populated inning of 1 run.
1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled away. For strike 2 on Casillas. It'll be Casillas, Nakawaki, and then the top of the order, Jerry Granillo. And we are joined by Emery Johnson on the broadcast. And Emery, getting the headset ready. Trying to figure out if he's a righty or a lefty. He's got it.
Well, it took so long, we know he's a lefty.
Nothing would be farther from the truth.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Casillas.
He's got the mic on the left side.
If I could throw a baseball with my left hand, I wouldn't be here.
Foul tip and back to the screen. And Casillas still alive. Rylick, an interesting case, sort of worked his way into the rotation as the season went along, making just his 7th start of the season. And Coach John Altobelli kind of went up and down his pitching staff, finding guys. Off-speed pitch and a swing and a miss from Casillas. He's down on strikes to start the 4th. But Rylick has stepped up nicely with an ERA below 3 at 2.76 on the season.
Well, I think he's the kind of guy you know what you're going to get when he goes out there, which is you're going to be a strike thrower. They're going to have some contact, and every now and then it's going to be some good contact, but you're going to be in the ball game when he's pitching.
64 hits in 58 2/3 innings, so he's not exactly going to overpower you, but obviously with an ERA south of 3.0, knows how to keep the runs from coming in, even if he scatters a few hits. Here's the 0-1. Another breaking ball in there for a strike. Quickly 0-2 on Nakawaki, who flied to right his first time up.
Oh, and that's evident of a pitcher who's going to be attacking the zone at all times during the game. You know, they did a statistic for Major League Baseball.
Bouncing ball to second. Williams over to first to retire Nakawaki.
To finish my point there.
Yeah, back to you.
They did a statistic for Major League Baseball a while back where they were looking at the first strike and exactly how that affects hitters when they're just taking on that first strike, and it ended up lowering a batter's average by a significant margin, which is, you know, for any pitcher, if you're not going to overpower somebody. I was always a sinker baller when I played, and if you're not trying to overpower somebody, you got to find ways to get outs and strikes, especially when you're crafty inside, outside, up, and down. You can generate a lot of ground balls and get a lot of quick outs that way, and it keeps your pitch count low.
To that point, as Rylick works here in the bottom of the fourth, the pitch counted about 62. And Bones, weren't you saying early in the weekend, what's the target around 15? If it's going well, that's what you want.
15's our baseline, but there's not a lot of effort by Rylick. Doesn't look like he's a max effort guy, and he might be the guy that, you know, he gets deeper in his pitch count. He might be a little bit better. And his fingers on the baseball a little longer. It's got a little more late life, like Emery was talking about. A little more sink, not necessarily velo, but tough to hit. He just doesn't give you too much of the baseball to hit at all times.
Well, and you saw on that first pitch of this at bat, he goes ahead and runs the ball inside to a left-handed batter. He's able to do that 0-0 because he's a lefty, so obviously advantage there. But you know, he's attacking the weak points of the zone.
Granillo goes after the breaking ball. He's down on strikes to retire the side. Quick fourth inning for Rylick. We head to the fifth. El Camino on top of Orange Coast, 3-2. It's the 3C2A Baseball Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the fifth inning, and Roscoe back out with a one-run lead. Warriors lead it 3-2. It'll be a trip through the heart of the order for the Pirates, starting with Tommy Williams. He takes a fastball high for ball one. Williams perfect on the afternoon. A single and a walk in 2 trips. Guys, this is a key inning for Roscoe. Gets the heart of the order, and Williams, diving stop by Long, throws from his knees, and he got it. How about Spencer Long robbing Tommy Williams of a hit?
Usually it's the other way around. Tommy Williams robbing everybody to hit. But again, you're going to get this kind of defense, this kind of play at this kind of level. This is where we are in the season. This guy's probably been doing this all year. Spencer Long, versatile player with the bat, with the glove, and also on the bump. So,
well, last inning leading off, David Morgan robbed of a base hit by Taishi Nakawaki. And now, the very next inning, it's Williams robbed of a potential leadoff hit by Spencer Long. The up-the-middle defense for the Warriors. And outstanding.
And Emery, you can comment, that two-seamer for Roscoe is a little bit heavy late.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what he wanted to do with it. He knew the guy was standing in the back of the box.
Taylor Repichet lifts it to left field. Long run, could drop, but it's Borges who comes on. And for Taylor Reffiche, that one just hung in the air forever.
Well, it was a big swing, so if he's reading the bat, you get a big swing. Your first step is back, but then that ball was up in an elevator shaft. So that's what it may look like. It's a lot more difficult than it should have been, but his technique was good. Big swing, first step back, but he had to close some ground and make the play.
And they're doing him a favor. I mean, that's two real quick outs here.
Center fielder, okay.
And then last swing at the first pitch, and
goes after the
he shoves it right in there and go, hey, I'll take a 4-pitch inning.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, we talk about, especially in pitching coordination with a lot of younger guys coming into colleges, you know, how do you elongate a pitcher's outing? And sometimes that really comes down to really getting it through the pitcher's head that you need to have a lot of low stress innings. You can throw some pitches, you know, he's up there at 83 through 5, or, you know, into 5.
Speed pitch for a strike.
He's a little over the lid, but this inning might get him back in. He's 1 and 2 as a pitcher getting out of it, and he gets under that lid again.
He's had good success against Tyler Lash today. He was 0 for 2 with a pop out and a strikeout, but he's got a base hit here. So Lash with a 2-out single, and that'll bring up Staley.
That ball just left out over the plate. Lash doesn't try and do too much with it. If he did, he'd have been 4-3.
You know, that 0-2 pitch right there, he's giving him a little too much of the plate, and that was what I was kind of alluding to, is you want to keep the pitch count down, but, you know, don't be afraid to burn a ball. You know, you already have a low pitch inning, low stress inning, and that's why you're giving up the hit right there. And to finish off my anecdote here,
Staley swings at the first offering and fouls it away.
I would emphasize, you know, you got to teach a lot of the younger pitchers that it's all about maintaining that composure, especially even if you have 86 pitches. You only have to make it one more inning in order to make this a quality start. Two runs in 6 innings is a quality start and a quality outing for a pitcher.
Ground ball to third. Becerra will go to second to retire the side.
Becerra has a very, very strong throwing arm.
Orozco
ball have carry.
Orozco navigates the meat of the order. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. Halfway through this one, heading to the bottom of the 5th, El Camino 3, Orange Coast 2. It's the 3C2A Baseball Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, Palmer, Borges, and Long. Now it's the Warrior. Part of the order due up 2, 3, and 4. We'll start with Palmer, who's 0 for 2.
Well, he's done a good job of keeping his pitch count down through 4.
Bouncing ball up the middle, sliding stop for Williams, but he's not going to have a play on Palmer. An infield hit for Spencer Palmer. Gets things started for the Warriors here in the 5th.
Good job by Riley. Got a first pitch swing, 13 hot ground ball, tough play. Even if Tommy backhands that, I think it's going to be a banger. He's probably going to be safe. So.
That brings up the dangerous Joseph Borges, who came in batting .343 with 4 home runs and 44 runs batted in. He's 1 for 2, a base hit back in the 1st, came around to score. First pitch from Riley, low and away.
I would argue right here he needs to make sure he keeps the ball down, which obviously hasn't been an issue so far this afternoon. But as a sinker baller, he has the advantage of being able to generate a lot of ground balls, and this is a double play away from being a clean inning right here. He's only got 3 pitches in, now he's evening up the count.
Foul back to the screen from Borges.
kind of guy likes to swing a little bit big. Swings too big on a ball he can't see. The entire baseball, we're talking about roll over Beethoven. We might get 6-4-3.
Absolutely. I mean, the advantage here is that his ball moves down, and that doesn't play to the advantage of the hitter, especially when he's trying to swing hard. But
Lined into left field, a base hit. Palmer around second. Now he's going to head to third, and he'll make it as Borges ends up at second with a double. Second and third, nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth. The Warriors have something going.
well, go ahead and prove me wrong.
That ball was up. Did he bobble it left field?
It looked like Gentry had a little trouble corralling it. We'll see if this ends up going down as an error, and I believe it's going to. Yeah, they're going to call this a single and then an error, making it runners at second and third, nobody out, and a golden opportunity for El Camino to extend on the lead.
Now you're in a situation you only need 2 ground balls for 2 runs. And you don't need to drive a ball or overswing.
Spencer Long, 1 for 2 in the game, takes a fastball for ball 1.
Perfect world, you roll it to the second baseman, get him in, get him over, next guy does the same thing.
Spencer Long, 33 runs batted in on the season. Looking to add to that number. Wants time.
Got to be a
Orange,
little.
oh, sorry about
No,
that.
go ahead.
I was just going to say Orange Coast, they're back on the infield up the middle. So they're going to concede the run on a ground ball.
Good try by Spencer Long there. It was the right approach. And it's the right idea by Alto. If they roll us in, get a run, you probably cut the next one. But again, I don't think Coast is afraid of being behind with the barrels that they have. So percentages. The power of the percentages, Jeff. You've been talking about it all day.
You got to be careful as a pitcher here. You know, there's a few things that can really help you out with this outing, and one of them would be a pop fly or a strikeout here.
1-1 pitch, chopper foul.
Or a big swing.
Yeah.
A big swing that was the pitch he needed just to roll to second base. He's out in front.
It's always a tough situation to be in with 0 outs. You have runners on second and third. You know, that thought in the back of your mind is you have that runner standing right behind you as a left-handed pitcher, and you know he's itching to get home.
Chopper to third. They'll come home with the throw, the tag, and he's out. So the fielder's choice leaves it at runners at first and third as Morgan fires to Jackson, and Palmer retired for out number 1.
And that is the pitcher's best friend right there. You see him, he goes with that loopy pitch right there on the outside corner, and allows the batter to he's trying to pull it as hard as he can because you know he's got that big bat, and he's going to pull it right down that line and give a nice, easy, handleable ball for the third baseman. He's going to toss it home, and that's something you practice every single day as an infield, is getting that ball home. And man, let me tell you, Morgan threw a strike right to the home, right to the catcher.
I found myself kind of waiting on the call because the ball beat the runner, but we've seen some tricky slides over the last couple of weeks. Sometimes the runner still gets in, but Hal Simmons behind the plate calls him out.
You're just a pitch away at this point, and you know, again, I'm going to say advantage goes to the pitcher here as long as he can keep the ball down and maintain his composure on the mound and make the right pitch selection and location selection here. You know, you got a ground ball and a double play out of this inning.
Ty Conrad 1 for 2 in the game, a base hit his last time up. No balls and a strike. On the ground to second, this could be 2. Over to second for 1. The relay, they got him. 4-6-3. Rylick out of a major jam. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on base. We're heading to the 6th. Did the Pirates perhaps pick up a measure of momentum? El Camino with the 3-2 lead here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Moving on to the 6th inning. For the Pirates, it'll be Gentry, Morgan, and Jackson. Coming up against Aaron Orozco, who carries a 3-2 lead into the 6th. Gentry's 0 for 2, flied out twice. Well, that's got to be huge, guys, for Rylick and the Pirates to get out of that jam 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. And to get out of that inning unscathed. And
well, usually in this situation, help me, Emery. After you fail to execute, the leadoff man usually gets on.
And he usually ends up scoring. I would say a large percentage of the time. But, you know, that's when you look at pitchers, and especially at this level of baseball, you know, the higher level of junior college baseball in the championship here.
Tried to check his swing. It's a strike anyway. No balls and 2 strikes.
You see a lot of guys who are very capable of pitching out of jams like that, and that's really what scouts are looking for at that next level.
He reaches out and just gets a piece. That's a good job to stay alive.
So he got out of that jam. Ineffective approach by that really rolled the ball to 3rd. You got the rollover Beethoven that we were talking about.
The 0-2 from Orozco, fastball high.
And a lot of that comes down to making the right pitch at the right situation, knowing who your hitter is. And, you know, truth be told, that ball could have gone somewhere else in the infield, and we could have been talking about something completely different at this point.
Speed outside, count evened up, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Gentry.
One thing you see Orozco do, he is on that side, he's on the arm side of the plate, every single left-handed hitter. You're not giving in the barrels, because they sneak one in there every now and then.
Grounder over to 2nd, long to his left, has time to get Gentry at 1st. First out of the inning, that'll bring up Morgan 0 for 2. Grounded out twice. There's Morgan at the plate when Nakalaki laid out up the middle, robbed him of a base hit. First pitch to Morgan at the knees for strike 1. Ball.
You got pitches that split.
I think that's what he's gripping when he goes into his glove. We'll see.
He takes something off of it for sure.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes.
The amount of seams that are visible looks like a split for me.
Oh,
Back to it again off the end of the bat, and Becerra has it for out number 2.
Yeah, that's either a split or a forkball. I don't think he's gripping a knuckleball out of there.
Well, you know, Orozco in many ways reminds me of the performance of Galicia on Saturday. You know, it doesn't exactly blow you away, but here he is against an extremely potent lineup, working in the 6th inning with a 3-2 lead. Just another strong pitching performance from the Warrior pitching staff.
That's what they do. Jeff, that's what they do. They pitch, play catch. We've seen that up the middle.
No balls and a strike on Jackson. In a hole now, 0-2.
Balls aren't necessarily driven over the fence in the gap, but again, they have a purpose this particular season, especially. They're playing the kind of baseball that they play.
Jackson takes that one low and in. 1-2.
Now I'm reaching back to when I was playing a couple years ago at Moore College, and we got the pleasure of playing against them twice, and that was the whole game plan going into it. Is you got to beat them on every facet of the game, and that means you have to pitch well to all of their hitters and don't expect any easy outs throughout that lineup. And then when you're playing defense, you have to be perfect because, and this goes with any type of baseball game, is you have to make less errors than they do, and they don't make many errors. So you have to really be smart.
2-2 to Jackson. Foul tip, but Casillas holds it, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. 3 up, 3 down. Heading to the bottom of the 6th, El Camino with the 3-2 lead. It's the 3C2A Baseball Championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Michael Rylick back out on the hill, trying to keep Coast within one as the Warriors come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. And Rylick, if you go back over the postseason, talk about working his way into the rotation. He's been a postseason hero. 2-0 with a couple of starts and an ERA of 0.68 in 13 and a third innings. So he has come up big at the biggest time of the year.
I'm going to make a bold claim here. That's phenomenal.
Always one for a controversial opinion.
Look at that Emery going out on a limb. You're walking the plank on that one.
No balls, 2 strikes quickly on Orozco leading things off. He'll be followed by Becerra and Casillas in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, Orozco can't drive in a run right now unless he hits it over the fence.
2 for 2 with 3 runs batted in the game. Talk about doing it all.
So
6
far.
innings of 2-run ball. He's got his team in the lead. He's delivered the offense, breaking ball in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, with that 2-2 count, it's time to put them away.
Rylick winds, lined into right center. De La Refouché can't come up with it. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Orozco cruising into second with a leadoff double.
And that right there was a big mistake with that 2-2 pitch. And I like to make all my calls pretty much happy, but you know, when you're talking about a 2-2 count, that's the mistake time. You know, a lot of guys, they end up making that mistake with throwing a pitch that's way too hittable, and you really got to work on not being so just easy going when you're on the mound in that 2-2 count. You got to be a little more fine with your pitch selection and with your location. And that right there, he had the right pitch, but he had the wrong spot. And you know, sometimes it came out of the hand the wrong way.
Well, if you're working the count, that's the pitch you want. You want it off the plate. You're trying to drive the ball the other way. And I'm not sure what Orozco's horoscope is today, but or what his sign is, other than his sign is very good.
Yeah, all systems go as he's 3 for 3, and he's hit the ball hard all 3 times.
Maybe it said something like you should take more chances than usual. I don't know.
Yeah, those things are so vague they could apply to anybody. No balls and a strike.
Take your barrel to work.
Yeah, on Becerra. Fly to right his last time up.
Should be trying to hit the ball the right side.
Big swing, high fly ball into center. Lamanche on the run, still on the run. It falls in. Orozco had to wait and let that ball land, so he ends up at third. Meanwhile, Becerra, running hard from the outset, ends up at second, and it looked like Lamanche just kind of lost this one off the bat.
He had a long way to go. Had to lay out at the end. And that, plus that ball had some backspin and it was fading.
Yeah, I think the spin on that seemed to confuse him a little bit because he started out straight back. But that ball really worked away from him into right center. Either way, it falls in, and it's second and third for the second inning in a row. 2 runners on to start the inning against Rylick. Was able to get out of the jam last inning, but...
Well, deja vu, we're right back here again.
Right.
And
got a pinch hitter for the Warriors, Jeff, which we had.
Yeah, Logan Young.
Got the big hit on Saturday.
I was just about to say something. This would be a great time for the coach to come walking out and have a talk with this pitcher.
Yeah, Tim Matz, the pitching coach,
who does
going to come
job.
out. Yeah,
does a great job with his pitchers.
Yeah, long time over at Santa Ana as well, working with Don Snedden. And
so this is exactly how this conversation is going to go over there. First off, it's, how was your lunch today? It was a little bit extended. Secondly, they're going to talk about, well, they got a new pitcher coming out on the mound. So, hey, you got us out here. We're into the 6th inning. Go take a rest, get ready to pitch again, either today or tomorrow. But at the end of the day, you did a good job getting us through into the 6th inning. Yeah,
Rylick goes 5+, and he'll make way for a new pitcher, and we'll tell you about that pitcher when we return. It's the 3C2A Baseball Championship on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Logan Young will be the batter. Pinch hitting for Brandon Casillas. And Ben Davis, the new pitcher for Orange Coast, comes in with runners at second and third and nobody out as he works to Young, who delivered a big base hit in a pinch hitting appearance on Saturday in the win over San Joaquin Delta. Curveball high for ball one.
Ben Davis, 6'3", 190 pounds, good-looking right-hander. Sophomore with some experience against Mr. Young, who didn't have too many at-bats, so he had a successful AB the other day, which is El Camino-esque, finding a way to...
1-0 fastball, and Young had a big cut.
On the How versus Wow, so here we are.
Trying to defeat their second consecutive wow.
Absolutely, working on it.
Give you the numbers on Young in a moment. I should say on Davis. One moment. 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, high heat from Davis. A ball and 2 strikes. Davis making his 19th appearance. A win-loss record of 6-3, an ERA of 1.81, 64 2/3 walk. Hit 47 hits, 23 walks, 61 strikeouts, and would number 62 fit in nicely if you're Orange Coast?
Absolutely.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Logan Young. 3 straight fastballs and Young down on strikes. Well, he went to the fastball upstairs, guys, and no need to go away from it if it keeps working.
He was, and I'm not saying the batter was looking for one pitch specifically, but he was seeing something up, and the ball, when it's up there in that high elevation, it looks a lot bigger than it is. And he looks like he can chuck it a little bit. I would be interested to know how hard he's throwing right now, because he blew him away with that last fastball.
Taishi Nakawaki, first pitch swinging, and he ropes this one foul. Nakawaki 0 for 2, fly to right, grounded to second.
On the upside to that swing is you might force Mr. Davis to do a secondary pitch. We don't know how good it is, but he hasn't needed it yet.
Well, he threw the curveball 0-0 to the leadoff batter, at least of his outing, not the leadoff batter of the inning. And it was a little bit high, so he does have a loopy curveball is what it looked like, so if he breaks it over.
High and tight with the fastball, a ball and a strike on Nakawaki, who is swinging a hot bat in the postseason, 11 for 26 in the postseason.
Pretty good 9-hole hitter. Contact guy. Knows what he's doing, knows how to play the game well.
The Pirates bring the infield in with 1 out, runners at second and third.
Got to prevent that runner from coming home.
Breaking ball well outside, 2 balls and a strike, and Davis has been dominating with the fastball early, but a couple of bad misses with the breaking ball so far.
El Camino, the team that's supposedly the How team, not the Wow team, is doubled up on hits. They have 10. The Pirates only have 5.
Well, they've been seeing the ball really well.
2-1 pitch, fastball popped up, but carrying out into right field. This should be deep enough. De La Refouche charges, the throw coming in, but not in time. Nakawaki with a sacrifice fly, bringing home Orozco.
Can't do that.
Pretty good throw from De La Refouche, but just not quite in time. The sweep tag from Jackson, but not going to get Orozco.
He was out there in right field, and that makes it really difficult to deliver a good ball. And he delivered a great ball into the catcher. It just was not in time. And, whenever you see a catcher trying to dive backwards, they usually don't know where the runner is, so that's a hard tag to make.
Well, that's a great job by Nakawaki on a high fastball, getting enough of that ball. It was sky high, but he got enough carry to get it out there. And deep enough for the sacrifice fly. And the Warriors bring in a potential insurance run. They lead it now 4-2 here in the 6th.
And I will add, he just missed that ball. He was just a little bit off. If he would have squared that up, that might have been for maybe 2 runs here.
Well, Orozco finally couldn't drive himself in. It was Nakawaki who gets the run batted in as Orozco scores another run. 1 ball, 1 strike.
But he's in the mix of just about everything right now.
Yep. 3 for 3.
He's POTG.
Well, I guess if he pitches a great game and continues to deliver at the plate, that you wouldn't be wrong to call the performance somewhat Ruthian. Bouncing in the dirt, and it gets away from Jackson. That'll allow the runner to take third as Becerra moves up.
Speaking of Ruthian, Jeff, I thought that's where your trivia was going to go.
I think we could do something newer than that. I got to get some time to put something together here.
What'd you do for 15 innings?
Where is Mike Cepeda? Bring that kid back. 2 balls and a strike on Granillo, who's 0 for 3. High and away.
Granillo, I think, is happy that Rylick is gone.
Yeah. Rylick certainly appeared to have his number.
Well, no one's up in the bullpen yet for Orange Coast College, but I would be assuming that given the chance
Ball 4 may happen.
Yeah.
Well, Davis, the second most innings pitched on the season. He's been a central part of this pitching staff. Pumps a fastball in there for a strike. Full count now on Granillo with Spencer Palmer waiting on deck.
And again, Davis came in, strike 3, fly ball. He's done his job. Trying to stop the bleeding.
I suppose my call was a little preemptive.
It might be. That's okay.
3-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And Granillo down on strikes to end the 6th, but not before the Warriors bring home another run. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors. 1 left on base. Heading into the 7th inning. El Camino with a 4-2 lead. It's the 3C2A Baseball Championship, Day 2, here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It'll be Hanoian and then Skylar Lamanchi and Tommy Williams due up in the top of the 7th inning. Against Aaron Orozco, first pitch misses. 1 ball, no strikes on Hanoian, who's 0 for 1. Struck out in the 3rd and walked in the 4th.
See if Eric can maintain hanging a 0 after they hang a run. Looks like a possible.
Fly ball left field. Conrad moving over toward the line, and he's got it. 1 down.
Leadoff man retired, significant.
Well, that's pitch 104 now in the top of the 7th inning. So he's cruising at this point. You got to figure he had a few long innings, but he's probably good to the end of the 7th if they can.
Retired 10 of the last 12 that he's faced. Continues to hold this Pirate lineup at bay. Fouled back to the screen by Lamanchi, who's 1 for 3.
And Emery can jump in as a pitcher, but he looks pretty effortless right now. Doesn't look like there's been any load on his body. He looks fluid. Didn't look in any stress. There's been traffic, but
how much can adrenaline carry you in a situation like that? Aaron Orozco's got to be thinking, man, let me just take us to tomorrow. I finished this off, and we're on to tomorrow.
Well, I'm not a doctor, Jeff, but sometimes I play one on TV. But adrenaline is, something that we investigate all the time, or the moment, or the time, and rising to the occasion, all the things that happen to athletes in their careers. But he's probably driven a little bit. Plus,
1-2. Lamonti fouls it away.
It's not abnormal for him to go 8-9 innings. He's been doing it all year. They're a club that uses complete games as effectively as anybody else.
I would say when I was conditioned to pitch, as well as when any pitcher is conditioned to pitch well, and you're used to those longer outings, you usually end up feeling better at the end of a longer outing, especially when you get into that 100-pitch range.
Yep.
And Randy Johnson writes about famously in his book, as well as any pitcher who can tell you as a starter and oftentimes a long time, you're actually finally warm once you reach that 80-90 pitch range, and especially when it's a little bit cooler outside. This is perfect weather to keep throwing, because if you're warm, you can keep going probably another 20 pitches and still feel confident enough to deliver strikes that are with good velocity and with good intent.
Orozco did go the route in a victory over Pasadena City College. Sorry, Bones. Back in round 1 of the playoffs. He has a little over 21 innings in 3 starts. So, to your point, exactly on. He's used to going deep into games, and he can go the route, certainly.
He's a horse.
Full count now on Lamonti with 1 down and the base is empty. Low and away, Lamonti on again.
And these are some of the things you start to watch. Ball 4. Does his breaking ball have a little slop to it? Is he failing high? I mean, there's little indicators that, and you would know as a pitcher, and evaluating the skill for so long, that these are some of the things you kind of keep your eye on.
And this is where the pitching coach in the dugout is starting to get his ideas of, okay, who's the next best matchup for these guys coming forward. And I guarantee you there's a couple guys down in that El Camino bullpen right now getting a little bit stretched out and warm, ready to go in. But, he's done a great job of getting these guys into the 7th inning, and, hats off to him. But right there, you see him, he's a little bit overthrowing. Now, that ball missed by just a little bit, and you wouldn't look at it as, oh man, he's really pulling off. But this is where your arm starts to get a little bit worn and tired, and it countered to the point I made just a second ago.
And he needs to be careful here. We're in the 2-3-4 spot of the Orange Coast lineup with 1 out. But
with Williams at the plate. The fastball misses away, 2 balls and no strikes. That is the 4th walk issued in 6 1/3.
That looked like
for Orozco.
A little extra effort.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to get it up, and I think he knows exactly where he is in the lineup. Most pitchers do when they're throwing, and now that adds a little bit of the stress on the top of 7. It's time to really take a step off the mound. And what I would do if I was him is I'd take a step off, get a breather, look around the stands, and then get back into it, just to relax.
There should be a trip coming soon if this guy arrives on base. And again, the conversation is not what we had for lunch, but what should we have for dinner when you get this next ground ball?
Absolutely.
3-0 to Williams. He takes that on the outside corner for called strike 1. Williams on the day 1 for 2. Well, you know how to keep Williams off base. It just takes a great play in the field. Robbed of a hit his last time up by Spencer Long, but it's been tough to keep Williams off base.
Sorry, Jeff. This is dangerous territory. 3-1 count to this type of player.
3 for 5 in the tournament so far for Tommy Williams. Throw in a couple of walks and a hit by pitch as well.
That was a good pick right there, and I don't know if that was designed by the El Camino coaching staff or the infield, but it gets his mind off of the hitter there for a second, allows him to kind of take a breath. An effortless throw over to first base, kind of recenter here and make a wise decision coming to the plate here.
The 3-1. Williams pops it up. Shallow right, moving over. It's Granillo who's got it.
That's a great job. If I might go in before Bones gets it,
absolutely.
He goes ahead and he throws that pitch. We'll see it here on the replay. I want to comment on exactly where he goes with this one. Throws that outside corner, and it just gets lifted up. And he saw his bat head drop, and he's thinking, I'm going to rip this thing out, left center gap or right center gap, and he ends up just catching it, and it gets that side spin over. That was a great pitch to get it out, and that was his best friend right there.
That'll bring up De La Refouché.
That was the biggest pitch of the inning so far.
De La Refouché 1 for 2.
Effective, located, and popped up.
In a very, very tough count, might I add.
With a tough hitter. In a tough spot, in a tough venue. It's a tough Orange Coast team.
And a tough Orange Coast crowd.
That's fastball high.
That's our buddy Keith.
Yeah,
Keith the Pirate.
Keith is a one-man tough crowd for Orange Coast.
And ironically, he's very well versed in his players His team, they embrace him for sure.
He's pro. He does his homework. 1-1. There goes the runner, and it's fouled back. So De La Refouché now down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, as Lamanche will return to first.
And he's done a great job of recentering here. I mean, you have 2 really tough at bats. You draw the walk, and then all of a sudden you get deep into a count against a really good hitter, and you help yourself out by getting that pop fly. And now he's ahead in the count, 1-2, 2 outs, runner on first base. This is a great opportunity for him to put an exclamation point on the end of his outing here at the 7th.
What do you like here as a pitch? I mean, did the pitching coach, what do you call? Guy's on top of the not quite on top of the dish, but he's kind of
He's
middle.
standing on the line. I'm going to change up away or breaking ball away.
1-2 pitch. Sky high, shallow right, long run for Granillo, but he will get there to retire De La Refouché and the Pirates in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. 7th inning stretch from John Eulis Ballpark, 4-2. El Camino on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
I got the same.
Bottom of the 7th inning. Warriors coming to bat with a 2-run lead. 1 balls and 1 strike on Palmer now. A single his last time up. Palmer's 1 for 3 in the game. It'll be Palmer, Borges, and Long against Ben Davis, who works into his 2nd inning. Davis did a nice job coming on in relief of Rylick last inning with runners at 2nd and 3rd. And nobody out, managed to get out of the inning, surrendering just the 1 run. But keeps the Pirates in it. But right now, Aaron Orozco stifling this
the
Pirate
Warriors
lineup.
Speaking of Pirates, we just had a visit from Keith, the Pirate super fan. What just a kind gentleman he was.
Came over here to graciously accept his Fan of the Game award.
Fan of the Game award. He's
He's
a welder by trade down in Orange County. Takes vacation from his job to come out here and on his own accord and support his Warriors. He just loves the game. He's great for the game. Like I say, he's so respectful and he's passionate.
Hey, any guy who could make a Men at Work reference last year, I'm a fan. He won me over right there with a reference to Down Under from Men at Work. 3 balls and a strike on the outside corner. Full count now on Palmer.
And I want to take a second to put in a little point here about just the 3C2A and junior college athletics. If you were free on a weekend and you don't know what to do and you have a lot of time on your hands.
As Palmer down on strikes, Davis has fanned 3 of the 4 batters that he's retired since he came on. He's come in with dominating stuff.
Finish off my point.
Yeah.
I needed to let you have the play-by-play
Right.
there. you know, if you're not doing anything on any weekend or something like that, a lot of these junior colleges have great sporting events going almost year-round. And there's nothing better to do than go out and support your local teams, because you know these kids go out there and a lot of times they don't get the recognition that they oftentimes deserve. You know, student athletes all around the country, you know, they're going out and putting it on the line and then getting right back into the classroom. You know, it's good to give these kids support because it's honestly a great thing to go watch, and it's great entertainment.
Yeah, we have the pleasure of being able to broadcast the events, to work on the events and get to see them. And yeah, I'm always amazed and always so pleased at how fun it really is to watch. High drama, great competition at this level, and the guys really bring it, and the women too. We have the pleasure of both. And the softball championship last weekend was, and the test was wall-to-wall drama from start to finish. Just a fantastic game. So no matter what the event, always the same dynamic. No balls, 2 strikes. Now on Borges, who's 2 for 3. A pair of singles in the game as he continues to swing the bat well. Breaking ball, and Borges holds up a ball and 2 strikes.
Just to be reminded that the big time is where you are. And so right now where we are is the big time. It's great for these kids. And Emory, as a athletic director of this association for 10 years, I appreciate your comments.
Sorry guys.
Go ahead.
In on the hands, popped up, shallow left, Hanoian. Now called off as Gentry will take it. 2 up, 2 down for Davis in the 7th, and that'll bring up Spencer Long.
However, that 16-inning game, 15, how many innings was that? How many days was that game? 15?
16 innings.
16 innings, and
just a little over 5 hours.
We might need some chair modification.
I will say that might actually be the longest broadcast I've ever directed with SoCal College Sports.
We were calling for Uber Eats earlier, but we might need Uber Seats now.
People were telling us, how were we tired just sitting down here calling the game? And my thought was, well, I know a guy who's working twice as hard for 16 innings up there.
No, I will make a point of the camera operators and all the other crew that we have working very hard on these broadcasts every single weekend, especially last weekend in the rain. I mean, we got the worst of it.
Slow curve and a swing and a miss from Long, who's now in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes.
You know, those guys work so hard to make my job easy, and in turn makes your guys' jobs easier. And that's the best thing about where we've become as a broadcast company in and of itself, and what the 3C2A has been able to do here. It's just a lot of really, really talented people working together to make this all happen. It's a wonderful composition.
Outside corner cold, strike 3. 1, 2, 3, 7th for Ben Davis through 7 complete. El Camino now 6 outs away, 4-2 over Orange Coast.
that and the sinker. And if you can command both of those pitches well, there are a lot of hitters that are going to be going up to the plate and then walking back away from the plate going, I have no idea what just happened.
As we head to the top of the 8th, it's Spencer Long on to try and close it out once again for El Camino. As he takes over for Aaron Orozco, he'll work to Lash, Staley, and Gentry. First pitch misses for ball 1. And
I agree with you, Emery. The best pitch after a strike is a changeup.
Lash 1 for 3. The single is last time up. Fastball skied to left. Nakawaki under it. Has it for out number 1.
Now, Greg Maddox made a living doing it. I'd say Sandy Koufax made a living doing it. There's a lot of professional major league pitchers who did that.
That'll bring up Staley.
And it elongates your career because if you throw a good changeup, then there's a lot of guys who are not going to be making good.
Bouncing ball to third. Becerra with the high throw. Staley going to be safe at first. He'll stay there. See if they call this an error, and it looks like they will on Becerra, who had time. Ends up taking that ball on the second hop, guys, and I think Bones, that's ultimately what cost him.
Well, he was backing up. He didn't get the best read, but he's blessed with arm strength. It just wasn't accurate there.
Yeah, showed that.
The ball was delivered well. It just wasn't accurate. He's got arm strength, and every now and then, unfortunately, you're going to make a mistake if you play long enough.
Gentry 0 for 3 in the game. Takes a fastball at the knees for strike 1. Well, it's fascinating going back to the performance from Long in the victory Saturday. Started out with well over an inning of almost exclusively off-speed stuff, breaking stuff, and then really went to the fastball. And now he starts out this outing with a steady diet of fastballs. There's the curveball outside for ball 1.
Well, mixing it up, not falling into a scouting report or a pattern, especially when you get a well-coached team like Orange Coast. They're going to figure that out. The hitter's going to look at charts. There's so much information out there now that you should be prepared.
Right, they can watch the broadcast archived on YouTube, SoCal College Sports. Diving stop by the replacement at second base. Sorry for the throw wide. Everybody's safe. Try and get a name for it.
Usually they run Julian Diaz out there to play second base.
Yeah, I believe that's right. It was Diaz who made the stop on the infield. Able to keep it on the infield, but Gentry safe. They'll
right
call
there,
that a hit.
By the way, might I add, that right there is a mistake, I would say, on the part of either the catcher or the first baseman. Not, he stayed on the bag as if the second baseman thought that there was going to be a play on it, and it only encouraged him to throw the ball.
First pitch fouled away.
And I think it's the kind of contact you're going to see off of Spencer Long. He's not going to fan a lot of people. And the ball's going to be hit, and it might have eyes, and it might not. But you got to play catch behind him, like he played catch behind everybody else. So, as the second baseman prior.
0-1 on Morgan, who's 0 for 3 in the game. 2 on. Popped up. Right side with room. It's Palmer.
Infield fly, if fair. It was not.
So 2 on, 2 out now, and Todd Jackson coming to the plate, who's 0 for 3.
Let me tell you, a pitcher's best friend is whenever you pop up a ball in the infield, and you're doing me, if I'm on the mound, more favors than one, because not only am I keeping my pitch count down now, and I don't even have to worry about a play in the field. The ball's dead basically where it's going to be caught.
Well, it only takes one execution to catch a pop fly.
Yep.
Takes 3 and a ground ball, catch, throw, catch.
Curveball in the dirt, blocked behind the plate by Casillas. 1 ball, no strikes on Jackson.
Spencer Long been in this position all year. As we talked last on Saturday at day 1, he's been a 2-inning closer, 3-inning closer all year. They get that good front pitching like you talked about, Emery. They get him in the 6th and the 7th, and Spencer Long pitches 7, 8, 9, and it's Warrior time.
No, let me tell you, having pitched in that position more than a few times throughout my career, there is nothing better than being on the mound with that kind of situation.
Fouled back by Jackson, a ball and a strike, and going back to the regionals, and it was Long on the mound for the dramatic Cypress comeback in Game 3 that for the briefest of moments looked like it was maybe going to end the El Camino season before Long himself came up in the bottom of the ninth with a walk-off 2-run home run. But he has faced adversity. Line foul down the left field line. A ball and 2 strikes now on Jackson.
He's got too good of a look at that pitch 3 times in a row, Emery, and this might be that 83 mile an hour that goes Jay Giles and looks like 104.
Oh, 1-2 count. Come on, give me that.
Give me that freeze frame.
And it's the one that the catcher's going to stick there, right there on the outside corner.
Absolutely. There's going to be no jab elbow. It's going to be soft. It's going to be round. It's going to be firm.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be hitting.
Yeah. And you're going to have everyone in the room, and by room I mean stadium, thinking that that's going to be strike 3.
Might be. Let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of prophet you are.
1-2 on Jackson.
Well, it starts with where the catcher is going to set up. Moves away.
Fastball.
There it is. We called that pitch, did we not? Did we not call that pitch?
Oh, my goodness.
Long down on, or gets the strikeout to end the 8th.
We did not execute the pitch.
No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 big runners left on base. Heading to the bottom of the 8th, El Camino with the 4-2 lead. Here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Ty Conrad will lead things off against Ben Davis here in the bottom of the 8th. The Warriors trying to punch their ticket to championship Tuesday with a win here. Davis into the wind. Curveball in for a strike to Conrad, who's 1 for 3. A base hit back in the 3rd. Grounded into a double play. The killer rally in the 5th. His last time up, in on the hands, and it's lined to Williams at second for out number 1.
I want to ask you guys a question here.
Uh-oh.
How many points does a batting average go down when the pitcher breaks over a first pitch strike with a breaking ball?
Didn't you tell us that earlier?
I told you guys this last year. I just want to see if you remember. Then again, the things that I say, most people just tried to throw them in the trash can.
The percentage of the points exactly?
Well, I mean, the percentage of the points is basically...
I'll say 35%.
It actually goes down an entire 100 points, meaning if you're batting 300 against a pitcher and he breaks over a first pitch breaking ball, you'll be batting 200 against him.
So that's 33%. So I was within 2 points higher low.
Yeah.
Pretty good guess.
Pretty darn good.
Julian Diaz, the batter, first plate appearance.
Off the cuff without much research. I don't have the research skills that Jeff has.
No, it was something that we focused on a lot when I was pitching, and a lot of pitching coaches really take into account exactly how effective that first pitch breaking ball can be. And what it really does is it throws away any idea of what the batter was thinking you're going to be coming with him next in the count, because the entire sequence has been thrown off.
2 balls and a strike.
That's called pitching and not throwing.
Yep.
Most successful guys on the mound know how to pitch. Not necessarily throw 95, but have the ability to pitch. I got a second pitch, tertiary pitch.
Well, that's the thing, is that if there's any aspiring pitchers out there from either in high school or other college levels listening, throwing 100 miles an hour might get you to the higher levels of college and lower levels of minor league baseball.
Back up the middle, a base hit for Diaz.
So Diaz comes off the bench.
Well, Orozco was 3 for 3, now Diaz comes in. Maybe it's the spot in the order as Diaz comes up with a base hit, but nice piece of hitting as he takes it back through the box.
That was a good job on an elevated fastball.
Aaron Orozco, 3 for 3, 7 innings, limiting Orange Coast to 2 runs. And right now he would get the win if El Camino can finish it off. Becerra 1 for 3, a double his last time up.
The super fans are crazy.
It's a super fan duel. A throw over and Diaz back.
No, to finish off my point before I get too distracted is, there's a heck of a lot of guys out there who can throw really hard. But to aid what you were saying, Bones, you have to be able to pitch. And if you can't pitch in situations, hitters are going to hit 100 miles an hour. And I'm sorry to break it to any guy who throws 100. Just because you're throwing it doesn't mean you're pitching it.
Agreed. And that's what development's all about. That's what instruction's all about. That's what willingness to be instructed is all about. You can't coach 100 miles an hour, though. That's
nope.
Pretty guy,
Yeah, there's a couple things you can't teach. That's like height and velocity.
And speed. The guy comes in throwing a C note. You gotta work with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not going to say no.
No, sir, you're not. That's Velo Deluxe.
0-1 on Becerra.
Great read
in the
by
dirt.
Diaz. Great
and
read.
Diaz alertly takes second. That's a tough call if that's wild pitch or just a stolen base on Diaz.
I think it's a WP. It's at the 57-foot mark.
I think he might have killed a gopher there.
No gophers in Fresno.
1 ball, 1 strike on Becerra.
Bill Murray was out here earlier looking for gophers.
Gophers!
If not, they saw a super fan, they left.
Strike for Davis. Catches the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes now on Becerra.
And as always for El Camino, we talked about this going into the weekend. It's always somebody else taking a turn. Today it's, Mr. Orozco, Aaron Orozco taking that turn, and guys stepping up, and somebody else is always doing something well.
Curve ball away. 2-2 on Becerra.
Julian Diaz steps in there, plays some defense, little freshman, gets maybe 6 outs a game here and there, lines a ball, gets a good jump on a dirt ball. I mean, it's just, they're the how team. They're just how you do it on a regular basis. They're convinced that their tenants are good.
Well, and they're playing smart right now.
And their leadership's strong.
Take advantage of every opportunity that's been given to you, and that, they're doing just that.
Three balls and 2 strikes.
Now he's trying to get a little too fine there. You saw he really choked the ball and tried to throw it hard, and what ended up happening is it came out a little bit slower, and he threw it to the low and away part of the, just low and away, and he missed with the pitch that he could have probably thrown harder had he not gripped it as hard.
He does have a base open. This is a strong hitter here, a little less of a hitter on deck. So
he's got Mateo Gonzalez-Drake waiting on deck, who replaced Casillas, and the breaking ball misses high. A walk to Becerra, first and second. Gonzalez-Drake will be the batter.
This is a great South battle we got going on right now in the bottom of the 8th inning, let me tell you.
Mateo Gonzalez-Drake.
The South Bay versus the Back Bay.
Yeah.
The Back Bay of Newport and the South Bay of Torrance.
0 for 9 on the season for Mateo Gonzalez-Drake. But a chance here to potentially plate a run for the Warriors with a base hit.
And
Couldn't hold up on the high fastball.
And a ground ball away from Mr. Davis. So.
Yeah. I would say just don't try to get too fine with your pitches and just pitch to your advantage as a pitcher. If you can generate that ground ball, make sure you keep the ball low and force the guy to try and hit something that he's not ordinarily going to swing at nor offer at. It's not a bad pitch.
Dangerous Taishi Nakawaki waits on deck for El Camino. A ball and a strike. Misses outside again. Davis checks the runner. Now comes home. 3 balls and a strike on Mateo Gonzalez-Drake, and surprised at this point to see Davis being so fine with his pitches here against Gonzalez-Drake, who doesn't get as many opportunities to get to the plate.
Yeah, I think he was expecting his last pitch there to be a strike, but you are correct. He's really trying to be finite with exactly where he's pinpointing his pitch selection and location.
Gonzalez-Drake had a big cut but fouls it back to the screen. Full count now.
Got action in the Coast bullpen. Looks like somebody's hot. He's got a jacket on.
Number 6.
Got a brief look at Diaz at second, Becerra at first.
Inman.
Payoff pitch. And a walk to Gonzalez-Drake, and Davis had been cruising, retiring the first 7 batters he faced. But all of a sudden, a base hit and back-to-back walks, and he's loaded him up, still only 1 out. And now Nakawaki, who's on 0 for 2, had a sacrifice fly his last time up.
And that same sacrifice fly could aid them just as well here for another insurance run. However, he just missed the last time he swung on a baseball. And it sent the ball a little bit up into the air and a little bit too much, but it was enough to play to run. But if he sees it well enough, and then remember, that was off the exact same pitcher just a few innings ago.
Yeah, this is his second look at Ben Davis. 1 ball, no strikes, and now Tim Matt's going to head out and have a talk with Ben Davis.
Yeah, it's discussion time on exactly what you need to do here against this hitter.
Pirates have had to wriggle out of some jams for most of the latter innings of this one. They were in trouble in the 5th, in trouble in the 6th, and now more trouble in the 8th.
Oh, Robert won.
1 ball, no strikes on Taishi Nakawaki. 1-0 pitch, base hit into left. 1 run will score. They're going to hold the runner at third. (5-2) the lead for El Camino here in the bottom of the 8th. And that'll bring up the top of the order Jerry Granillo.
Yeah, he elevates his fastball there, and that's the skull and crossbones, if you will. You don't want to elevate a fastball on a hitter especially with bases loaded, because he's only going to do one thing. He's going to try and hit it through the infield, and he does just that, finds that 5-6 hole.
Bringing in that left-left matchup. Might be El Camino's weekend. I see that their men's basketball coach, Robert Uphoff, just won the opportunity drawing. El Camino basketball coach. So there's a lot going on with the blue this week.
Well, everything is coming up Millhouse, I guess, for El Camino.
Absolutely.
5-2 lead in the game. Now their coaches are taking down the opportunity drawing. I'm surprised one of the guys in the dugout didn't win it.
Yeah, it's, well, it was going to be a Rusco, but it'll be an impropriety.
New pitcher for Orange Coast, as we'll go ahead and just keep it here. And it'll be Vince Inman, who came in briefly, finishing off the victory on Saturday against Sac City. This will be his 20th appearance of the season, a record of 4-0, an ERA of 1.25, 36 innings, 25 hits allowed, 6 walks, 21 strikeouts, and he will come in with the bases still loaded and 1 out. He'll come in to face the left-handed hitting Jerry Granillo, who's 0 for 4 and didn't look decidedly comfortable against left-hander Michael Rylick earlier in the game.
Well, he's got the right ERA.
Yeah, the numbers are impressive for Inman, and he comes in here in about as tough a spot as you can be in, with the bases loaded and only 1 out.
Well, it's time to clutch up, and Orange Coast has to send their best out there.
And it's spot in the lineup where they go left for El Camino.
It's a good decision on the part of Orange Coast pitching or coaching staff.
Curveball misses inside to Granillo. 1 ball and no strikes.
Granillo tried to wear that one, but wasn't quite inside enough.
Granillo's 0 for 4. Back to the curveball, in for a strike, a ball and a strike. But Granillo could erase all of that struggle and more with a base hit here. Bring in another run or two for the Warriors, who are closing in.
Well, he's seen 2 breaking balls so far. It'll be interesting to see what he's gripping there in his glove. Looks like 4 fingers on the ball. Yeah, he goes to throw the changeup.
2 balls and a strike.
Again with El Camino, it's just the next guy's turn, and maybe Jerry's turn. He hadn't had a turn yet. So everybody kind of gets a turn just about every ball game or every other ball game, and it might be Jerry's turn right here.
Fair ball. This will score 2. Gonzalez Drake around third. He'll score on a double by Granillo. It's now 7-2.
And he goes for a breaking ball again. He just offered 3 breaking pitches in a row, and that was hung up there. And when you leave it up, it's going to get smoked, and that's exactly what just happened. It got smoked down the line, and it was just fair, but fair enough to do some damage.
The Warriors breaking it open here in the 8th inning, and you don't know who it's going to be, but it seems fairly certain at this point that someone's going to clutch up for the Warriors in a big spot. Timely hitting up and down the lineup.
There you go. I mean, we just talked about Granillo's been bamboozled most of the day. And like Emery said, he got a breaking ball that didn't do much breaking. It gets kind of laid there. Next thing you know, it's down the line for a dub.
It was a flat slider on the top of the zone.
Fly ball left field. Gentry under it. They're going to send the runner Nakawaki, and the throw cut off. Sack fly for Palmer. Brings home another run. It's a 4-run 8th inning, and El Camino has broken it open here, and they lead it 8-2. And now for Spencer Long, who's had a long inning in the dugout. Maybe a little more of a stress-free ninth inning. Well, you never want to put anything on the board just yet, but a little more cushion now.
When Spencer Long pitches, he looks pretty stress-free to me.
Very relaxed.
He might be the
really,
Spicoli of the Warriors. He's like, Mr. Hand.
Borges with the ground ball to third. Morgan will go across to retire the side, but El Camino sends 8 to the plate. 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're heading to the 9th. El Camino now 3 outs away from a spot on Championship Tuesday here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Hanoian, Lamanche, and Williams in the 9th for Orange Coast and El Camino.
We have a pinch hitter, Jeff.
Pinch hitting for Hanoian.
Joey Fregosi.
Fregosi will bat as Spencer Long out to try and finish it off for the 2nd day in a row. And put El Camino just 1 win away from a championship that would mean so very much to that program.
Oh, it's unfathomable what happened, and this is just like we talked. They got a different purpose.
And thus far, they seem to be a team not to be denied. Becerra will get Fregosi by a step to start the 9th. That'll bring up Skylar Lamanche, who's 1 for 3 with a walk. And there's that arm that you talked about from Becerra.
It's
plenty on it.
Yeah, it's a clothesline.
It's a little bit of a cannon.
Yeah, there's 3 T-shirts and a pair of pants on that thing.
Lamanche has been a pest at the top of the lineup. I suppose that's exactly what you want if you're Orange Coast. On a couple of times.
He is pesty. And effective.
Followed by Williams and De La Refouche. If anybody reaches. In the hole. Nakawaki with the diving stop, but he'll never get Lamanche at first. Infield hit for Skylar Lamanche, who's now 2 for 4. At the conclusion of this one, it'll be about a 45-minute break to let the teams get ready for our 3rd and final game of the day. It'll be Sac City. And if this score holds, it'll be Orange Coast playing for the final spot in the championship tomorrow. Off the hands, twisting, foul.
We're going to call that the Memorial Eve barbecue special. Most barbecues are probably coming to an end here pretty soon.
Well, ours is just getting hotter.
Yeah.
Williams, 1 for 3. A single and a walk.
JoJo's been out there cooking dogs all day long.
And that one gets away momentarily from Drake behind the plate. But Lamanche not going to chance it at first. He'll stay put. And of course his run completely meaningless. in an 8-2 game. 1-1 to Williams. Breaking ball outside. Two balls and a strike. In the air to center. A playable for Borges. In front of the track, route number 2. And now De La Refouché represents the last chance for the Pirates in this one. Well, now the question becomes, how deep is that talented El Camino pitching staff? They are looking as though they will be one game away, and who might it be who will step up?
They got another guy named Max Pappas. He's a great front-end guy.
Yep.
You know, we play 3-game series in our conference, and you know, he's been their Saturday guy all year. And
ground ball to short. Nakawaki over to second. The quest continues for El Camino. Now they're 1 win away. (8-2) the final, and guys, any final thoughts here on what we've seen from the Warriors through the first 2 games, dispatching back-to-back #1 seeds?
well,
Go ahead, go.
I mean, I'm not surprised for several reasons. One is having been affiliated with the program years ago, and Nate Fernley and what kind of leader he is, the kind of support they get at El Camino College. Watching him the last 4 or 5 years in our conference as an opponent now as opposed to an ally, and not to mention just the purpose and the inspiration they have from the tragedy. It just seems right, and not to mention the type of team that they have, that it's totally next man up. It's who gets the next opportunity, who gets the next shot at contributing to what's going on. So I think we just appreciate that kind of game. So, and no disrespect to Alto and his team or any other clubs that are here, just my thoughts are just like maybe they're not beatable on the field or in foul territory. They got some special activity going, and it's really cool to see. And as Emery talked about, it's the beauty of sport, the beauty of this 3C2A, and I think we're just fortunate. Who knows what we're going to see from here on in, but to this point, it's been a good run.
Given the precedent, given the stage, it's going to be the team who makes the least amount of mistakes. And this weekend, El Camino has done nothing but been almost flawless in every single game we've seen so far. And they have a lot to play for. And they are doing nothing short of making everybody at home proud of the effort that they put out. And, that it's going to make up for a very exciting tomorrow. And, what a great game we have coming up next. And that's really all I got to say.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys, I don't have the career in baseball, but it's pretty hard to beat a team that pitches well and comes up with timely hitting, isn't it?
How about impossible?
Yeah. And so far, that's what we've seen from El Camino. It's an 8-2 win here against Orange Coast. They are on to tomorrow. We still have 1 game left, as Emery talked about. It'll be Sac City and Orange Coast. In an elimination game, one team will finish up their season. The other team will move on to tomorrow and get another crack at El Camino. We'll step aside, rejoin you in about 45 minutes for that game. We'll see you then, everybody. So long.